everybody. Hopefully today finds you well. We are getting into the heart of December here, and I kind of wanted to do this video before now, but it just didn't work out that way. So we're going to do a rundown of the subscription boxes that you saw and that I unboxed in the month of November. So a quick note, I anticipated doing Munchpak, but unfortunately, due to my own stupidity, I paused the subscription. So no Munchpak for November. However, because of the time of this video dropping, you would have already seen December's Munchpak. So there you go. More Munchpak. And it wound up being pretty fortuitous, honestly, because I got 50% off of the much bigger box. So the 20 snack or family size box, I think they call it. So, there you go. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and go through what we took a look at in November. Excuse me. So our first November box was Ketokrate. And I guess I had talked about Ketokrate in other videos because I was really happy with it. A lot of meat and cheese and just a lot of really interesting stuff. I was pretty darn happy with Ketokrate. Again, because of the timing of this video, so if you're watching this in sequence, yesterday would have been Ketokrate, I think. But if you're watching this in the future, then the video before this would have been Ketokrate. Maybe. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, we would have already done it. But yeah, Ketokrate was really nice. And I'm not going to mince words about it. It knocked Primal Urge kind of off of my radar. I sort of figured if I was going to get a meat and cheese box, I really don't need Primal Urge, which it was a fine box. We'll talk about it here a little later. But Ketokrate wound up being really cool. Wide variety of stuff, and everything was pretty darn good. So I definitely give that one a thumbs up. Next we had the Kern Box, and this was one of those boxes that, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do a second month, but it's a relatively cheap box, and Kern is the kind of box that you get when you're just getting into like actual backpacking. Like, you're not just car camping, you're actually backpacking now, and you're trying to get into different gear that could help you along. This month we had that pack line, the sleeping bag liner, which actually, I see the usefulness in it, although I don't use a mummy bag. I have a quilt now, and I have for some time. So I did re-gift it. My brother has it now. But, and then even in the month before, there's that Gregory fanny pack. And it's like, okay, that stuff is fine, but it's like, it is what it is. I don't want to knock it. I actually think it's not bad. And as far as like value for money, if you were to curate all those things yourself, you would pay more than what you paid for the box. So that is not bad. The value for money was there. But with that being said, Kern is canceled. We're not doing another one of those. I just don't see the point in it. It just doesn't make much sense to me long term. So Kern has been axed. Next up we had, actually this next box wound up being, you know what? No, okay, this is somewhat out of sequence. The next box chronologically would have been, I believe, Monthly Knife Club. Okay, I believe because here's the thing. I had most of these boxes already recorded because they all kind of came all at once. I actually had set survival boxes and Primal Urge, and then I actually swapped them with the Cooking Panda and the Monthly Knife Club because I just wanted to get those out. So anyway, I'm pretty sure Monthly Knife Club dropped first, and this is the Onyx Subscription Box. What a win. I mean, what a win. It was a 2-knife box. We had the Maxpedition knife and then the Boker. The Boker, God, what a knife. What a big old blade knife. Really enjoyed that one. And I have to say, I enjoy the Maxpedition a lot more than what I did in the video. But I realized what I was doing wrong. It's a frame lock, but the issue is like, because it's a smaller knife, I was putting a finger on that frame lock, and by doing that, it made the open a lot more hard. Because instead of having a flipper, you're just using the thumb button knob, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure it has an official name. I'm not a huge knife guy. But I did see some comments there talking about like Maxpedition, not Knifespedition, Maxpedition. Oh yeah, man, they make all these really great bags. And it's like, I looked at them, and because I'd never heard of the company before, and it's like, well, I'm into a lot of bags and packs. And it was just like tactical bags, and that's probably why, because I don't really subscribe to the whole tactical bag thing. I have one that I bought for like $25 on Amazon, and I use it as a range bag, but I don't put a ton of stock in those style of bags. I'm never going to use them for backpacking or camping or whatever, but like I said, I do have one. It's kind of my range bag, and it serves its purpose. But anyway, so Maxpedition, never heard of them, but I gotta say they made a pretty nice knife. If I remember correctly, that was the D2 blade steel, and also had the titanium. I'm pretty sure titanium frame. So it was actually a really cool knife, and I like it. I've carried it a few times, and I've really come to appreciate it. It was a good-looking knife. The blade grind was really nice, and I was happy with it. It was just one of those things where I was having trouble with the open on camera. But again, that's because it's the first time I had played with it. So anyway, figured it out. Nice knife. Monthly Knife Club's great. And due to forgetting to stop the billing, there will be another one. I'm sure I could get him to cancel it, maybe credit my money back, but it's fine. I've actually really enjoyed Monthly Knife Club. The Onyx level, I think provides a lot of value. And there's been some comments talking about I wouldn't buy those knives normally, but to be honest with you, like the Boker Excalibur in the first box, albeit a front flipper, and like I'm not a huge front flipper guy. I mean, I get it. I didn't in the video. I was, again, because like I don't really stop videos. I just do the videos. I wasn't really opening it properly. I figured out, again, not a huge knife guy. I've said that enough, I think. But, that has wound up being a really nice knife. I really like it a lot. Maxpedition, the other Boker, they've been pretty good. But I'm again, it's like, what would you prefer? What would you buy if you wouldn't get these? So anyway, pretty good knives, and from a value standpoint, I think they've been pretty on point. So I'm more than happy to do a little bit more, at least one more, but after that I'm definitely canceling it. I don't see the need to continue more knives. So next up then would have been the Cooking Panda Box. I came upon this super randomly. I watch a YouTube channel called Mythical Kitchen, which they make a lot of weird food stuff. It's interesting. And one of the hosts had put on like Instagram to get like some money off. So I looked into it. It's a pretty cheap box, and like when they say it's like $150 like value, I believe that, because legitimately thinking about everything that was in that box was just so crazy. Like there is so much good stuff in that box, and I had such a good time unboxing it. And you could just tell. You could just tell if you really, if you do your own shopping, that is. You could tell that there was a lot of thought put into the box, and then also like a lot of value in the box for the price. And plus, I got money off, so that was great too. And since the unboxing, I've actually eaten quite a bit of it. I've gotten into the cookies and the little snackies. I use that simmering sauce. It was like a dill lemon simmering sauce. I used that. I had some swordfish steaks, and I seared those and kind of cut that into strips, put it in the simmering sauce, and then used those udon noodles and had like this lemony dill swordfish steak udon noodle thing. And I thought it was really good. It tasted really good to me. So what they put in there, excellent stuff. Very, very happy with Cooking Panda. Now, it doesn't seem like they've switched over the box for the next month, and I don't know if they're maybe going to switch it up every couple months or quarter or every month. I don't know. But as soon as they switch it over, they switch it over to like another box, I'll probably get that again because I actually thought it was really cool. And I know a couple of you commented that you might have went out and got it too. So that one was a great box, good find. Off the beaten track, but it was very, very cool. So I was very happy about that. Then we get into the survival boxes, gyjxqj box. And I've had a couple of comments on this, and I've done a tiny little bit of digging. You know, this isn't like an unknown box. I think even Dub C said, yeah, so he had been subscribed to this box. So here's the rub, right? It appears as though the owners of Survival Box sold the company to another group or whatever. They used to run like 4 different boxes. I think they went like Alpha, Bravo, Gear Only, and gyjxqj when I got into it. And I bought into it at the beginning of October. I expected it in November, but because of the billing cycle, I didn't get it until November, which I thought was odd. And then when I go back to cancel it, because I did indeed cancel it, they'd completely retooled the entire site. They're going with different boxes now. Looks like they went down to 2 different boxes. The site is completely different. Like, everything's different. So I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know if it's something I want to look into further, but let me just put it to you this way. I wasn't disappointed in the box because I understand for who that box could be for. But that who is not me, okay? That box was largely like going into Walmart and getting all these things. It's not a bad thing, it's just the thing. Or like a Dick's Sporting Goods or, I don't know, TSC or something like that. And it's like, okay, so you go in there and you just pick up a bunch of stuff. And it's like, okay, this can all be useful, but it's not going to last you forever. You know, when I buy stuff now for my backpacking, for camping, for survivalist stuff, I usually tend to pay a little bit more because 1, I can, and 2, I've tested out a ton of gear and I know what I like by now. But if you have no gear, like nothing, that wasn't bad. And I did keep one thing in it. I am keeping the hand crank radio because I think it's neat and it's kind of cool to have one of those. And the more I've played with it, actually holds a pretty good charge. So I can't be mad at that. And then a couple of the other things in there, I actually have either gifted out or will be gifting out. The mess set was actually pretty cool. Included the burner. That's a good little mess set. It wasn't bad. That Coleman fixed blade knife, I actually kind of, it's not bad. It's not bad. The little Coleman multi-tool, not a bad thing to have. You know, the gloves and the toboggan, a few other things, like they're useful, but again, they're not things that I would typically buy. With that being said, and I said it in the video, if you were to go, again, it's one of those things, if you were to go source all of that out individually, you would be paying a lot more than you got it for the box. So value for money, not bad. But I will say this, from what I am looking at, you know, I've viewed a couple videos, it just looks like everything in that box were the leftovers of previous boxes. So what I got wasn't necessarily something, I feel like it wasn't necessarily something that was thought out and curated right for then and there. I feel like it was like, okay, we just got to get rid of all this extra stock that we have because we're selling or we're retooling or whatever, and let's just put it all in this box. So I don't actually even know if that much gear in there would even be kind of like up to par with what they would normally do. Like, I feel like it was just all shoved in there. It's like, well, yep, here you go. Take whatever we have left. So good, bad, ugly, none of the above. It was fine, but it just, it didn't excite me because so much of the stuff just is not my wheelhouse. I have other things and other brands that I like. But it was a big box, chocked full. Value for money for that one was pretty good. Did pretty well view-wise, so apparently a lot of you were interested in it. So there you go. Not a bad day at the office. And then finally, we had the Primal Urge Foods meat stick box. And, Primal Urge I was actually pretty excited about. I do like good quality meat sticks. And they had quite a few of good quality meat sticks, but they did put some duds in there. There were a couple that didn't live up to what they were saying their flavors were. Not terrible price wise. I felt like it should be a tad bit cheaper, but there again, everything always tasted really good. It tasted higher quality, so I can't necessarily knock the price, but yeah, it's not something I want to continue. Again, not that it's bad. It's actually very good. I would encourage you guys to try it if you enjoy that sort of stuff. But yeah, I've got my fill. 2 months, I've had my fill, so I'm pretty good with that. So that was it. That was it for November. And here in December, a little preview for December from what you haven't already seen. It's actually really, really sparse, to be honest with you. The boxes are going to start winding down, and that's just the fact of the matter. So many of these, especially the gear boxes, have been a little disappointing, and I don't really particularly want to just keep doing it just for the sake of doing it. So put it to you this way, a lot of things have gotten axed, and a lot of things aren't coming back. So first and foremost, Munchpak Keto crate, you would have already seen it by now, so those obviously are there. Monthly Knife Club, will be towards the end of the month because they don't ship out until I think the 3rd week of the month or 4th week of the month, so it's usually towards the end. And with the Christmas season, we'll see when it actually comes. Shipping's been crazy lately, so we will see that. But I think honestly that's about all we're gonna do for boxes for December. Now, going forward, we might do one more Munchpak. I'm not sure. We might do one more Keto crate. Still thinking about it. Monthly Knife Club's gone. I have considered the I think it's called Poor Man's Preparedness or something like that. And they have like a budget knife box and then like a gear box. So I've thought about that. Gear box is like $100. The knife box I think is like 30, 35, something like that. So I've thought about that a little bit. I'm not 100% convinced on it, but we'll see. But really, aside from that, I don't really have much else on the horizon for just subscription boxes. But what I am thinking about doing, and I've been pretty content heavy in the past like 3-4 months anyway, but I think what I'm gonna start doing is start highlighting some local, i.e. Ohio brands of things. I've been thinking about bringing a few beers to the table, some brands that I love that are made in Ohio. Everybody's going through a lot right now. Small business is having a lot of trouble, and Ohio has a lot of great breweries. We have some very specific brands of food here in Ohio, and I think I'd like to try and highlight that a little bit, and maybe it does nothing, but it'll make me happy, and maybe you guys, will maybe try something new, because there are a few things. We even have a couple of wineries in Ohio that do shipping, so some of this stuff you can get shipped. So maybe you find something you like, and you can support our great state of Ohio here as I try my best to do. through my purchasing actions. But you know, that's something that'll come, and then I have a couple of gear reviews that I want to pop in to the weekend slots. I am planning on doing a couple of different EDC videos and some bug out bag videos and some, you know, unbagging things too. But that's a little bit down the line. We need to get through the holidays, and as soon as that happens, we'll see what the new year brings. But, you know, again, still a lot of content. However, if there are any boxes out there that you think are particularly good or particularly valuable, go ahead and put them in the comments below, and I will take a look at them, and we'll see if they're good or not. And if they are, maybe I'll try them. If they're interesting, they have to be interesting, because I'm not just going to do nothing, you know, crap boxes. So leave them down below. And yeah, that's about it for today. So again, comments down below, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.